Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Well, let's get right into it. How about that?
Former Florida State Trooper appeared inside of a Long Island courtroom today where he was arraigned on murder charges for a cold case dating back 30 years.
Our authorities originally thought it may have been linked to the Gilgo Beach murders. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg has more on the investigation.
Prosecutors say his background in the Army and anatomy gave him the knowledge to kill and the skill to hide it. After nearly 3 decades, 66-year-old Andrew Dykes is now charged with murder.
Decades after her cruel and untimely end, we begin the fight to bring her killer to justice.
His victim, Tanya Jackson, who for years was known only by the nickname Peaches because of this tattoo, also found dead their daughter, Tatiana. But at this point, Dykes hasn't been charged with her murder.
Instead of being a man and owning up to what he did years ago and fathering that child, he ran away from it.
For years, many believed the two could be connected to the Gilgo Beach killings. Tanya's remains were found in Hempstead Lake State Park and along Ocean Parkway, where the remains of several victims tied to the murders of suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann were found. But investigators now say the person responsible in this case wasn't a serial killer, but allegedly the man Tanya was having an affair with and the father of her child.
He said he made attempts over the years to look for them, but his story didn't add up.
Dykes, who was an operating room technician, allegedly used his knowledge and the skill to dismember Jackson with surgical precision. The married father of three also had a background in law enforcement.
I like to go to New York and defend myself.
He was extradited from Florida earlier this month after advancements in DNA technology linked him to the case.
He had been drinking from a styrofoam cup with a plastic lid and straw. He threw it in the trash, and investigators recovered that cup.
His attorney plans to challenge that evidence.
The technology used to reach a conclusion that he may be involved in this case, I believe, is the newer technology, and it's very subject to scrutiny and challenge in New York State.
Now, Jackson's family was inside the courtroom but was too distraught to speak. They do say they hope justice will finally be served. Now, as for Dykes, he faces 25 years to life in prison if convicted. He is being held and is due back in court next month.
Alright, now, so y'all heard that, right? Well, let's go ahead. Let's break this shit down, son.
There's now say the person
Stop it right here. About that. Now, first and foremost, look at this guy. What's that look on his face, everybody? Defeat. He is defeated. How about that? All right, now let's go to the top of this shit, right? So basically, this situation right here, this guy, he had him a woman. He might have been married or something, whatnot, whatever the case was. And he was messing around with that woman that he killed. What was her name? Tanya. So he messing around with her, and she ended up having his baby, which I'm pretty sure he probably told her, don't have it, my family ain't gonna approve of it, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to have this child, blah, 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 blah. Whatever conversation they had. And she probably like, nah, fuck that. I'm keeping this baby. You just gonna have to be a father. Your girl gonna find out, blah, 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 right? So with that being said, this guy right here, he is a former Army veteran. He didn't serve time in the Army. As you can see, it said he was an operating room technician. So with that being said, he thought he had the game plan all figured out. He said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just go ahead and kill her and the baby. You know what I'm saying? So that way I don't got to deal with this shit no more. And with him being an Army veteran, he probably was thinking like, you know what, I could break this shit all the way down to a science. They ain't going to never find out. And that's going to be that. Well, that's what he did. And he got away with it for 30 years. 30 whole years. Okay? Now, let's fast forward the tape. Here it is 30 years later. They catch this guy sipping out of a styrofoam cup, juice, water, who knows, whatever it was, that don't even matter. He was drinking out of a styrofoam cup and he threw it in the trash. And detectives recovered the cup and ran the DNA and they was able to match it up, all of that, however they did it. And boom, they got his ass. Nah, look at him. He can't believe this shit. He just knew he had it figured out. He had the case done. He broke it down the right way. He just knew that he got away with this. Now look at him, 30 years later, an old ass man. Can't believe this shit. All right, nah, let's get ready to wrap this up. So, my whole point of this video was the fact that when it comes to murder, there's no such thing as a statute of a limitation. Meaning that they can come back and charge you with this murder at any time. There's no certain time that is a deadline to it or none of that. As you can see, they came back and got this guy 30 years later. You know, the technology didn't advance so much in the past 30 years, they was able to catch up with him. Which, as you can see, they caught him by a damn styrofoam cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, the technology, man, it keep advancing, right? So, what, like I said, with the statute of limitation, there's no statute of limitation on murders. So they can bring this shit up at any given time. So, what I gotta mainly say about this, because I know a lot of guys like this when I was growing up, let's just say 20 years ago, I know a bunch of guys that was out here committing murders and shit like that, and they was getting away with it, and they thought that shit was sweet. Well, let me say this to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all that was committing crimes back in the day, you know, killing people and shit, getting away with it, thought shit was sweet. Y'all see this video right here. They can come back and get your ass 30 years later. It's not over because you got away with it at that very moment. You know what I'm saying? And more than likely, they gonna come back and get your ass anyway. That's just how this shit go, man. You know? So whatever it is that you done did in your past, man, look, have fun with your life, kiss your babies. You know what I'm saying? Live it up, do whatever it is you gotta do. Because just like you see this guy right here, your ass could be 60-something years old, getting cuffed up, and on your way to prison for a crime you committed 30, 40 years ago. There's no statute of limitation on this shit, baby. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.